It's back. You guys, I'm so excited. The Rise Summit is back. If you caught us last year or earlier this year, you already know this free summit is where it's at. I have over 40 speakers, 40 speakers, experts in health and wellness, relationships, just overall living your best life. They are coming to chat with us about all things happiness. I literally have women that know so much about all kinds of the aspects of our lives that can cause us to feel really miserable or really just basically not like ourselves. So this summit serves to help you come back into feeling like you again, to be you again, to really find your happiness and feel like yourself again. So come and join us for free December 11th through the 14th. All of the information is in my link in my bio or down below in the show notes, so you can come and join us once again, absolutely 100% free. Okay, you guys, we are going to get into this Gemini full moon. And if you know, you know, I love these episodes. And for those of you watching on YouTube, if you if you know, I recently had my car stolen. It was a whole thing. So, you guys, I'm literally like fresh out of the shower. I didn't get all dolled up for you or anything like that because I want you to get this episode and I want you to like listen in and know how this full moon is affecting you and what it's bringing up. But sorry, I didn't get all ready for you because life is just lifing. I almost didn't record anything for this month, but you guys deserve this. You guys need this. And there's a lot of like oversharing happening right now with this moon, overthinking and potentially holding it in. This is kind of like I want to say this is like some throat chakra stuff we got going on, but yeah, it's a good one. So let's dive into it, man. So if you have been feeling loud, restless, maybe even a little bit spicy lately, this is the Gemini full moon energy. It's not going to come to us in like a soft and just like, okay, we can hold it in. This is really like us having to literally bite our tongues, right? This is us getting into our like internal commentary, our patterns, our mind. Like there's so much connection here with us just like being irritated by people. Let's be honest. We're being irritated by people. We are speaking our minds. And also, like, I think that we might be feeling a little bit overstimulated right now. So Gemini is the part of us that processes reality, processes everything around us in real time. So it's going to rule our thoughts, our inner narrator, right? That inner dialogue, how we communicate, like if we're biting our tongue or not, our, situations, the way that we're interpreting different situations, how we like that interpretation, how it's coming in for ourselves, how we're explaining things to ourselves, our perspective, right? How we're narrating our own perspectives. And a lot of us, we're going to see this kind of shadowish side of how we're avoiding our feelings by trying to stay busy. So when this full moon is like illuminated in Gemini, right? It's all of these things, how we talk, how we think, how we filter our emotions, and how we cope, again, by staying busy. And we're going to see a lot of this for ourselves a little bit more clearly than we normally would. We're going to really notice ourselves, right? So you might notice you're over explaining things a lot, which I always do. Let's be honest, I love to like give that extra explanation often, but you might notice that you're doing these things more often or with like really simple things, right? You might do a little bit more rambling than normal or talking faster than you usually do. You'll notice yourself again with this like over analyzing. You might be replaying a lot of conversations in your head, which sometimes for me personally, I hate it when I notice I'm doing that. I like to just ignore it and pretend like I'm not, because that is something, we used to do as teenagers or like kids, right? You would like, oh, with your crush, like over, like I remember like rereading text messages and stuff and analyzing them. And so I like to pretend I don't do that sometimes as an adult because it feels so childish. But you might be doing that right now, overanalyzing some of these things, replaying things. It's okay. It's happening for a reason because you're noticing a lot more about the way that you communicate right now. It's really just having kind of like a spotlight on it, right? You might notice, like, if you know a Gemini, you'll see this coming out more in them too. But like, we might be a little bit more reactive. And if you know a Gemini, I think you know. There are times when it's like, damn, there was like no filter on that statement. Like, okay, thanks. And sometimes we need those filters, but let's be honest. I think that a lot of us really are holding a lot in and not saying things that maybe we should. And so you're going to notice that you are just so much more reactive through your words. You might notice yourself even just with vulnerability. Like if you notice that you're feeling a little bit vulnerable lately and you're kind of covering it up with like jabs at other people or making a lot of jokes or stuff like that, pretending that you're totally fine, right? This is not what Gemini is here to kind of expose all of that. You're going to note it. Like, oh, I just did this the other day where somebody was like, "Oh, how are you?" And it's like, I hate to be honest about this, but we know when there's a situation when you're supposed to say, "Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, things are good." You're supposed to just like lie and just like whatever. And they're not even like really listening to your response. Like it's just a formality to be like, "How are you?" You're going to notice with this full moon right now, with this Gemini energy, that you might just ramble off a bunch of shit that like is true. And it's like, what? I just said all of that? I just said all this honest stuff? Like for me, with all this car stuff and all these things happening, it's like, "Oh, how are you?" Well, honestly, I'm really shitty. My car just got stolen. All this other shit is happening. I just had to get an emergency root canal. Like everything is shit right now. Yeah. How are you? It's back. You guys, I'm so excited. The Rise Summit is back. If you caught us last year or earlier this year, you already know this free summit is where it's at. I have over 40 speakers, 40 speakers, experts in health and wellness, relationships, just overall living your best life. They are coming to chat with us about all things happiness. I literally have women that know so much about all kinds of the aspects of our lives that can cause us to feel really miserable or really just basically not like ourselves. So this summit serves to help you come back into feeling like you again, to be you again, to really find your happiness and feel like yourself again. So come and join us for free December 11th through the 14th. All of the information is in my link in my bio or down below in the show notes, so you can come and join us once again, absolutely 100% free. And it's like this unexpected answer, but we're just being so freaking honest right now, right? We're kind of stopping some of these old patterns that we used to have that like protected others from our own emotions. Like we're allowed to feel our emotions, right? So this moon is really going to reveal for you and open up for you the way that you talk your way around your feelings or hide your feelings or pretend that, you're okay when you're not. Maybe it's going to show for you where you make jokes and just kind of cover things up instead of really getting to the bottom of things and having legit serious conversations with people and communicating really well when you really need to talk to people about something, when you need that clear communication, when there's a conflict, instead of just sweeping it under the rug, making jokes, instead of really feeling it or admitting that you're hurt. You're going to notice that you might be like over analyzing a lot of things, like I said, and just feeling really kind of overwhelmed when it comes to different aspects of our communication. Even if you're feeling like you're over communicating or over explaining things, if you are then understood, you might feel really pissed off, really upset, kind of snapping back at people, right? You might feel even overwhelmed, like if there's any communication issues. Like I just did that with my husband this morning, literally. I was like, "Oh, like, what's your schedule for this week? Blah, blah, blah." And he just kind of like nodded and like half answered the question. And I was like, "Dude, what the hell?" I'm still actually really annoyed about that because it's like the communication issues are irritating more than they would normally be. We're feeling it a little bit more. So we're really like a little bit unfiltered, saying the truth, snapping at people, just being really honest, and it could be considered a little bit rude. And then on the other hand, we're really noticing communication issues, misunderstandings, overanalyzing things. So it's kind of like this whole combination. What I want you to do for this moon is have more awareness around your communication. I don't want you to like add something else to your list or make it like a whole thing, where it's overwhelming for you. But pay attention. Um what is that? It's like that acronym. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm trying not to butcher it, but it's called think. And it's like before you speak, you're supposed to go through all the letters of think. And it's like, is it true? Is it honest? And I forget the rest. But if you Google that, you'll find that. But it's like, if you go through those little things, like, is this true? Is this honest? Am I having integrity with sharing this? Am I allowed to share this? Like, if you go through all these little questions and just pause before we quickly react with our words to things. And notice yourself, and I want you to give yourself grace with this moon too. Hey, my love, I am so freaking pumped and I'm just so excited to announce this. I am hosting a free 1-1 portal sound bath. Y'all, January 1st, we already know that this is like big energy, renewal energy, but really the 1-1 portal this year, as we are headed into 2026, which is a 1 year, this is going to be just such good energy, honestly. Like, this is like the big portal. Like for 2026, we have 2 big portals, and this is one of them. This is like a massive, massive deal. January 1st is going to be really, really, really big energy as far as new beginnings, just trying new things, opening up a new chapter into our lives, like manifesting. Like, this is going to be such a good time. So I wanted to give you a free sound bath so that you can really hone in on that energy. You can call in all of the things that you're ready to call in your life and really like take advantage of this beautiful energy of this time. You can get it for free, and the link in my bio on IG at Hello Audrey Rose or down below in the show notes. You do not want to miss this. This free sound bath is going to be so freaking good. You are not regressing necessarily from the work that you've done. If you're noticing some of these like shadow sides or these other traits coming up and you're like, wow, like for me, like the overanalyzing thing, it's like, wow, I worked really hard to stop doing that. That's so childish, so immature. But it's like, you know what? It doesn't mean that I've like failed any of my, growth or something. It just means this moon is bringing a little bit of extra. It's just extra. And it's okay. I want you to give yourself some grace because these moons bring up so many different things for us. And it brings us up a chance to learn through a new lesson each time, right? Each time that we have a full moon or a new moon, we're learning new things. We're having this sign kind of illuminate a different part of our personality that we can work through. But I also want you to remember to give yourself grace because we're not only here to just work through things all the freaking time. Notice your communication patterns, know what sets you off, notice how you respond to things, but don't beat yourself up, right? Pay attention to how you speak to yourself. And if you could do a couple of things for yourself this moon to really heal and to really grow, I just want you to pay attention to how you speak to yourself. The patterns, the, thought loops that you have, I want you to pay attention to them. Maybe set a timer on your phone for like 3 or 4 times during the day that go off to remind you to have that mindful moment where you're really checking in with your thoughts. You're paying attention. Maybe you're infusing positive thoughts, whatever's true and honest for you though. Like, we don't want to do that toxic positivity, but paying attention to that. And then notice, taking it a step further, notice how you speak to the people you love. How do you speak to your husband, to your kids, to your parents? What kind of things are you saying? Are you being overly honest? Like, are you being overly unfiltered? Are you being, that's warranted sometimes, but also do we need to rein it in and be a little bit more sweet or caring? And just paying attention, taking that one step further, if you feel called, if you're in a place to do so, how do I speak to everyone else around me? Those different layers of relationships we have, right? After family, it might be the coworkers or friendships. After that, it might be like just the people in our lives, like the woman that we see every Friday when we're getting groceries at, Trader Joe's, or the mailman that we see once, maybe daily even. Like paying attention to those other relationships too. Like, how do we treat people in general? How through communication is the point. How do we treat people through our communication with our words? Are we rude? Like there's times at work for me, as a nurse where it's like, I'm rushed, I'm irritated, I'm stressed. It's the end of the shift. My labs that I sent have like hemolyzed and there's like a whole thing. And it's like, so much work. And lab calls me to tell me something like that, or to give me a critical value or whatever at like 6:36 a.m. when I got like 15 minutes till I got to go. And it's like, yeah, I might answer that call and be a little bit stressed and rude. Like, are you kidding me? Okay, whatever. Like, but they're just doing their job too, right? So it's treating everybody around us the way that we want to be treated, really, but paying attention to the way that we are speaking. So this moon, it might feel overwhelming. It might feel frustrating. It might feel irritating, but it's not here to do that. It's here to shed light on where maybe your voice, your heart, your thoughts, all of that are a little bit out of sync, and to allow us this time to kind of catch ourselves and realize like, okay, that's why I do that. Let me pivot. Let me teach myself something else. Or, hey, let me just honor that part of myself and just realize that, hey, I call it like I see it. And if you don't like it, that's fine. So it's just here to do that for you. I love you so much, and I will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Ready to Rise podcast. It means so much to me to have you here and to get to share all of this with you. If this one resonated, literally just send this to a friend, share it with her right now, because there's so many women out there who really need this information. And I would also love it if you could take a quick screenshot, throw it up on Instagram, tag me at Hello Audrey Rose so that I can connect with you and get to know you. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Have a blessed and beautiful day, and I will see you next time.